Hello, my name is Veronica Boostabed, and I'm going to walk you through the application that I built. This is a Rails with JavaScript application, and it is a project that I built as a part of the Flatiron School. The requirement was to build off of our previous Rails application and add some JavaScript to it. And I'll go ahead and show you what we have here. This is the Adopt a Dog application. The application is a platform where users can browse dogs from different animal shelters, and they can potentially adopt a dog if they would like to do so. Our main application homepage has a brief welcome message as well as an image of a dog. And down here we have various options. We can either sign up to create a new account, we can log in if we already have one, or we can also do third-party authentication with GitHub. What I'll do is log in, and we're going to log in as Laura Rodriguez, who has administrative capabilities for the app. And click on Login. And this takes us to the main profile page for the user. We are currently logged in as Laura, and we see that Laura has already adopted a dog. She has adopted the dog Mickey. What I'd like to do now is show the various features that were built using JavaScript. And the first feature that was built is on our dog's index page. To get there, we're going to click here on View Dogs. And what we see here is a list of all of the dogs that are currently available at the shelter. And the first feature is a button. It is this button down here that says Show Breeds. And if we click on the button, what this does is give us the breeds for the different dogs that are listed here. We have Schnauzer, Labrador Retriever, Beagle, and Maltese. And these are the different breeds that correspond to the dogs that are listed here. And this button was built using a GET request, which is jQuery, and this was a GET request to the internal Rails API for the application. And for the next requirement, this is on the show page for an individual dog. I'm going to go here and click on Bella as an example. This takes us to the show page for the dog Bella, and what we have here is a basic description of the dog, the adopted status, which states that the dog is currently available for adoption. We have an image of the dog. We have a couple of options for either adopting or being able to edit this information, assuming that the user is an administrative person. And for this requirement, we had to show something. We had to show an individual resource on a page. What I decided to do was build this link. If we click on this link that says breed description, what it does is give us a brief description of Labrador Retriever, which is taken from the Wikipedia API. And it says that the Labrador Retriever is a type of retriever gun dog. It is one of the most popular breeds of dog in Canada, the United Kingdom, and the United States. And we can also click on this link to see more information if we're interested in learning more about the Labrador Retriever. If we click on this link, this takes us to the page for Labrador Retriever on Wikipedia, and we see exactly where we're getting this information from. We can scroll down and read more about Labrador Retriever if we would like to do so. And this link is a link that was built using a fetch request, and it was a fetch request to the external Wikipedia API. For the next feature, we had to render a has-many relationship and display that on our application. And to see this, we're going to navigate to our shelter show page. This is the show page for our first shelter, which is the New England Animal Shelter. And I built a button here, and the relationship that I wanted to show is that a shelter has many dogs. We can click on the button here, and this is exactly what it does. It shows us the list of the dogs that are currently available at that shelter. This was done by customizing our shelter serializer, then customizing our dog serializer for the JSON responses so that we could narrow down the dogs to only those that have an adopted status of false, meaning that they are currently available for adoption, and displaying their name directly here onto the page. And lastly, we had to submit a form using JavaScript. For this requirement, I have a feature where we're able to submit feedback regarding the adoption. And so if we go to the adoptions page, we currently have one adoption, which is the adoption of Mickey. We'll go ahead and click here, and we see the information regarding this particular adoption. This is regarding the adoption of Mickey, who was adopted by Laura Rodriguez. And we have an option down here where we're able to submit feedback if we wanted to provide any comments or provide any other information regarding the experience with the application and the adoption in general. We can click here on Submit Feedback. We can submit a comment of our choice. I'm going to use this one here. And we click Submit. And we see that the feedback was submitted successfully. This was done by Laura Rodriguez regarding the adoption of Mickey and the specific comment that they wanted to provide us as feedback. And just to show a little bit of the code that went into building this, we're going to go over here to our JavaScript file, over to comments, which is right here. And we can see that first we get the form by the ID here. We are then adding an event listener upon submission of the form, which is this code right here. We are preventing the default action, and we are running an AJAX post request, which is to create a new resource. In this case, the new resource that is being created is a new comment. Upon success of this comment, we are then going to run the display comment function. And I want to show quickly the HTML elements that we have for that. If we go over to the form, we see this is the ID that I had mentioned for the form. And then here we have the form contained inside of it, with the ID of new comment information. Going back to the JavaScript file, we have that here. And to continue, upon success of this request, we are going to execute the display comment function. This is going to instantiate a new instance of the comment class. And we have a constructor function here, which is for the comment class, which takes in the data of whatever was submitted by that form. And then we are going to add the, we are going to format this comment, which is using the prototype down here. The prototypes are specifically useful for formatting, and that is exactly what we did down here. We wanted to make the feedback was submitted successfully and place this in bold. We wanted the information to display with an owner key, as well as a key for dog and feedback. And if you notice on the page, that is exactly what we did. We made this text here in bold. We have the owner key, the dog key, and also feedback with the specific comment that was provided. That is a little bit to show about the code that went into building this application. And as you can see, this is pretty powerful what JavaScript and AJAX allows you to do. We're able to render information without a full page reload. We're able to request and receive data back from a server. And all of this is made possible by JavaScript and AJAX. And this is what allows us to make the type of modern and interactive applications that we use on the web every day. If you would like to see more of the code for this project, you can visit my GitHub account at vBoostabad. This is the Adopt a Dog application. I will be adding more CSS and other features as well. If you would like to submit any comments, please do so. And thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, bye-bye.